Welcome back, everyone, to the late night review. And I'm happy to get to this movie. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. It's a really, really good action movie, drama, and it's one of the more serious Chuck Norris movies. And I'm talking about the Delta Force. Delta Force 1, Chuck Norris, Lee Marvin, Steve James has a role in here, and George Kennedy is in here. There's a lot of actors in this movie that you've probably seen in other movies, especially from the 80s and 90s. This is really a good movie. I really like the Delta Force. Anyone who's watched my channel for a certain length of time knows that I usually like the Chuck Norris movies that have more martial arts in them. I love the shoot 'em up movies too. I love when he goes to the guns. But I usually like his movies that are more oriented around the martial arts. But I like this one. Delta Force 1 is one of the more serious, dramatic Chuck Norris movies, and I think that it's a good one. I have the nostalgia for it. I remember watching it when I was a kid, and then thinking, "Gee, what's this is pretty serious. What's going to happen? It's awful how the terrorists are treating these people on the plane, how they're doing so many bad things to them." And it's a dramatic movie. Like I said, it's one of the more serious Chuck Norris movies, and I think it does a justice to the subject. It's a serious movie. It takes the subject serious. It takes everything, all the disturbing aspects in here, serious the way it should be. And I think it's not only one of the best Chuck Norris movies, but I think that it's also a solid action slash drama, disturbing movie. It's got a lot in here. And yeah, Bo Svensson, I think Bo Svensson, I think I'm remembering his name. He was what kind of a well-known actor in the 80s and 90s. He took over for Joe Don Baker in the Walking Tall series. I think he's in here as a pilot. And like I said, there's actors in here that you'd probably seen in other movies from other 80s and 90s movies. This is a good Chuck Norris movie. It's personally not in my top five Chuck Norris movies. I do like his more martial arts oriented movies the best because that's what Chuck Norris is more famous for. And, Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee and Way of the Dragon, Return of the Dragon had that big martial arts fight. And then later, when Chuck Norris got into acting, there was Breaker. 1977 came out the year I was born. Love, Forced Vengeance, and Eye for an Eye. I think, yeah, because Breaker was in 77, and I think Forced Vengeance was early 80s. James Fargo, I think, directed Forced Vengeance. Those are among my favorite, very top Chuck Norris movies, but this is a good one. I've always liked the Delta Force. I thought the chemistry between Chuck Norris and the other members of the Delta Force was really good, like Lee Marvin. Steve James, like I said, is in here. Steve James from the American Ninja franchise and then Avenging Force with Michael Dudikoff. And it's a movie that if you if you like drama mixed with action and the subject of terror and a lot of different aspects of that, you'll probably like this movie quite a bit. If you're more interested in martial arts and karate and usually Chuck Norris type stuff, it might not be one of your favorites. You might not like it as much as some of his others, but it's a good movie. It's solid. It has good acting in it. I think it has some of the best acting of any Chuck Norris movie. And it's good that they brought Lee Marvin into the movie. And the Dirty Dozen, Lee Marvin, does a really good job in here. And Chuck Norris, they're on the same team as the Delta Force. And it's an exciting movie, and I like the score. I think it's a very well done, well rounded movie. There is some martial arts in here. There is a little bit. at the end, especially when Chuck Norris takes care of the main villain at the end, the main terrorist, and it's a good payoff. And this movie is pretty realistic, especially compared to some other Chuck Norris movies. So I do think they respect the subject matter quite a bit. It's a well done movie, well acted, and I think that the editing, the score is good. I've always liked it. I've always liked it, even though I was always geared more towards the martial arts movies, primarily oriented martial arts movies that Chuck Norris did. This one's a really good movie. A lot of nostalgia for it. I remember we rented it. My parents rented it when I was a kid. We watched it quite a bit. And when it came on TV, I believe I recorded it. It was either on regular TV or one of the pay channels. So definitely nostalgia for this one. Delta Force has a lot of drama. There's disturbing aspects to this movie. Quite a bit. It's quite a bit more disturbing than a lot of Chuck Norris movies. And the hostages, the way they're treated by the terrorists on the plane. And the acting is good. I believe that it's pretty realistic and gritty. So yeah, it's a dramatic action movie with a little martial arts at the end, but not much. This is more geared towards just the Delta Force dealing with the terrorists, rescuing hostages, and doing what they do best, and going after the bad guys, taking them out. So if you like that kind of movie, I think you'll like it. I like this movie quite a bit. I highly recommend it. Check it out. This has been a late night review. And by the way, I do all the editing for my videos. Please like and subscribe, and that way my hard work will pay off. And there's a lot of people out there on YouTube that are working hard, and some of them, I'm sure they're working harder than me. I do all these videos by myself. I've always worked alone. I do all the editing. I do the intros, the outros, everything in the middle. I choose the free music, the free photos, and then I mix my art in with the videos, as you see, kind of advertise my art in a way, or give you little previews of my art. After all, it's called Doorway to the Paintings is the name of my YouTube channel. But yeah, so I do everything. I do all the editing. No one helps me. I do everything from beginning to end. So I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and let other people know about this channel and the videos on here so they can see this type of content. Share it, pump it up, and hype it up. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Late Night Review, and good night.